while I'm waiting on the cabinet for the sink to dry, I went ahead and cut out this here wall. This is the dividing wall from the galley pretty much to the, I guess that corner is gonna be for the toilet and the shower. And then this wall, I think it's gonna be open. The door is gonna be 13 inches from that corner, 24-inch door. The ceiling, I'm thinking about making it a lift ceiling. The 4-foot section, be able to open up the 4-foot section. I decided to relocate the sink and the refrigerator. I'm gonna put it here. Probably gonna, guess I'm gonna go ahead and put the sink at that location. Swap places with the sink and refrigerator. And it's gonna be a cabinet build for the stove and a shelf, extended shelf there in the corner for the refrigerator. I haven't decided if I'm gonna cut this shelf out a bit, but we're still in the phases of deciding. This here is, well, that's actually my first cabinet, the sink. But this is going to be, I guess, my first finished cabinet. I guess I could go ahead and finish that one as well, but I haven't decided on the front opening. On this one, I'm going to just leave it open. So I'm going to go ahead and swag this cabinet, screw washer, anchor, glue. Once we get that in place, we'll have it set, come back, and I want to use the screen for the base. I'm going to put a board here. I'm going to use some of that closet stuff I showed you here on this base and the top, because the vent is going to be, I need some support for the vent. I'm thinking about some anchors, some wood support anchors as well. But for now, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get the swag in place for this cabinet, and we'll decide from there. Okay, so now I have the sink cabinet. It's drying. I have the swag system on it, the anchors and the washers, part of it, and the screen on the stove section. So as this dry, that one I just did paint one side this time, use the thumbtacks, that way it allowed me to stack them, and then I'll flip them and paint the other side while the anchors and the washer on this dry. I'm going to have to make a 12 3/4 by 20 inch, 12 3/4 wide, 20 inches high, and I'm not sure if I'm just going to go to depth of the bench or bring it out 2 feet. That's to be determined. Okay, just to keep you a little pretty much update to where I am at the moment. Yeah, I put that the red great stuff. Okay, I used this can of the great stuff for the wall, and they say the blue can is less expansion, and this one here is more, for like up to 1 inch, and the possibility of it's forcing, you know, the stuff have to have something to keep it pressed together. Okay, so in my case, the tape for one, and I'd also use some Gorilla Glue, and it pretty much, so I just had the good amount of tape, but it was overcut pretty much, a little more on the other side. But in my case, the great stuff didn't really expand it or force it apart, and I guess that was kind of due to the Gorilla Glue holding it together. But that's how it turned out in my case, for the moment anyway. I think I end up putting this in place because maybe I was going to fill the bottom, or the gap was so big on this side I didn't want it to come through so much. I think I kind of like the way it turned out. I had to straighten up a bit in here. Couldn't take it anymore. But there are cabinets. Getting ready to go on and work on getting the cabinet top while that finish hardening. I did notice just a little bit of difference in the foam. This is that GE foam, and this is the great stuff. Mainly by looking, it's been the color. For the moment, texture feels pretty much the feels pretty much the same, like the performance of either one. The third one, the first can, the red and black can, I like it as well. I do believe I cut into it a little bit too soon before I really gave it a chance to really cure. But all in all, it's alright. I'd say either one of the three seems to be fine for the moment. However, I will not be using it. It will just be used to fill like the areas up front, those deep areas. Fill around those once they are filled. And to paste pieces together, which I don't think there's the top, the roof. I need to probably use a can of it to put those together. For the rest, I will be using the tube. I have one other tube I would like to try, that PLX3, and get the shelves compound and smooth out and ready to finish and in place. And now that we got the whole shell of this, the outer shell cut, and pretty much so put together the way we would like it, I'll go ahead and start trying to work the walls. And once I get it all put together, outer shell, I want to go ahead and glue in the gaps, fill in the gaps. But for now, what I want to do is come and on my walls, I'm gonna, that's minor, fill this in with now what I want to do is come back and I'm gonna start, I guess, with my walls, get these smoothed out, get this rough cut off, and come back and put the drywall stuff or the mud over this so I can smooth these out. Like I was saying, this here is the sheetrock mud I will be using, the joint compound. So I'm going to go through and little dents and dings that are in the wall. I guess it will cover itself, but I have some that's not as wide. I don't think I only need one about half as wide. So I'm gonna go pick that up, and this is what we're gonna do. Just go through and fill in the low areas, and once it dries, just take a light sandpaper and smooth them out. Okay, so I have all the areas I wanted to put some of that mud on, like that, on my two walls, the inside and outside of the walls. And I'm gonna just let that sit and then come back and take a light grit sandpaper, smooth it out, take the walls off, and we'll start disassembling so we can move it outside and do the final assemble